Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. We're here to support John Moorlach for OC Supervisor. First, I want to start with introducing myself and the rest of our board for Costa Mesa Republican Assembly. My name is Jennye Bigelow. I am the current president, Costa Mesa Republican Assembly. We have our vice president over here, Steve Mills. We have his lovely wife, Danielle, who is our secretary. And we have Gary Monahan, who is our treasurer, who unfortunately can't be here right now. So I'll just talk a little bit about myself. I am a longtime Costa Mesa resident. I've been here for 49 years. Born at Hoag Hospital. I'm a native of Costa Mesa. My family's been here 70 years. My family's built 2 churches in the city, 2 schools. Father worked at the school district for 40-something years. My grandmother was the head dietitian at Hoag Hospital and John Wayne's personal dietitian when he was dying of cancer. So just a little bit about myself is I know so much about Costa Mesa, and I deeply care for the city, and I deeply care about Republicans in the city. So with that said, I'd like my vice president to come up and say a few words about himself.
All right. As Jennye said, Steve Mills, welcome in folks, thank you for being here. Costa Mesa has just been our home for about 7 years. I've been actually in California since 1995. Actually been married 7.5, coming up in 8 years, I guess, there we go. Just trying to keep it real, right? Been in Costa Mesa for 10 years, there we go. Met Jennye and the gang for CMRA last year when we were helping out with a couple of different elections that were going on. Felt it really important that I get involved a little bit more deeply, and I just feel very strongly about what CMRA is doing from not only just a neighborhood perspective, but building things from a grassroots and kind of moving from there. So Jennye was kind enough to ask us to sit down and have a conversation. Went through the interview process with her and Gary and a few others, and decided to join the board. Happy to be here, happy to support and do what we can for Costa Mesa.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Jennye.
And Danielle, if you want to come up here and say a few words about yourself, so everybody knows who you are.
Hi, thanks everybody for being here. I'm Danielle. We have been in Costa Mesa about 10 years, and our kids go to school here. We've made Costa Mesa our home, and we love the city, and we really just wanted to be involved in making it better than it ever has been, if possible. We really want to just bring our party together and make positive change in any way that we can, small or large. So start local and move on from there, and we want to get involved locally and have a good time and meet like-minded people doing it. So we're all about building community and building a better city. So we're grateful to be a part of CMRA and moving forward to the next election cycle. Yes.
All right, so we have a very special guest speaker here today. Her name is Kelly Ernby. If you don't know who Kelly is, she's part of the OCGOP. We all voted for her to be part of the Central Committee. She also ran for the 74th Assembly District, lost by a very small margin, so we're hoping this next time she's going to cut it. So, Kelly?
All right, thank you guys. Well, it's good to be back in Costa Mesa. This is a battleground for the Republican Party. It's a battleground right now in this race for Senator Moorlach. I'm going to still call him a senator even though he didn't win that race. And so I'm going to talk to you about a few things. I'm a poor substitute to the senator himself, so I apologize. I'm not as interesting as he is, but I'm going to tell you why he's the candidate that you should vote for. And so let's start with where we are as Republicans. We are a party that was devastated by the loss of our presidential race. We didn't want Joe Biden, and so we're a little bit upset about that, and that's okay. But we did win a seat on Congress, Michelle Steele's seat. So she is now in Congress, and that is why we're here today, in fact, right? Because Michelle Steele won, that leaves a vacancy on our Orange County Board of Supervisors that needs to be filled. So while our great senator was defeated for Senate, that opens him up to be able to jump in and take over for Michelle Steele. We need somebody who has has the skills and the knowledge to jump right in, finish her term, and be a strong conservative voice in our county. And that is Senator Moorlach. I know there are multiple candidates running, and I get asked all the time. I'm going door to door. I'm making the phone calls. I am now on the Central Committee and working with the party. And the party endorsed John Moorlach for a lot of reasons, but the number one reason is he's the only one that's going to be able to win this race. And it's a short special election. There's not a lot of time. So some people, and I'm all for needing younger candidates, new fresh candidates. I believe that I ran a campaign on that same platform, but this is not the race to make that statement. This is the race that we need to win. We have Democrat Katrina Foley from Costa Mesa. She's your mayor, and nobody wants what's happening in Costa Mesa to be happening for our county. And what Senator Moorlach will tell you is that Costa Mesa is one of the last when it comes to the cities in our state in terms of their financial stability. We do not want that. We do not want somebody who's going to govern like Governor Newsom in the county supervisor who's going to shut down the parks, mandate masks, and send the law enforcement to your business and shut you down. And that is what you're going to get if you don't unite. And we don't unite to get John Moorlach into this seat. And the reason he's going to win is this is a huge district. There's 12 cities. No one else has run outside of their city. Kevin Muldoon, I like him, and I don't speak bad of any of the other candidates. Mr. Vo from Fountain Valley, he's a great Republican mayor of his own city, but both of those candidates have run and campaigned in one city in their entire life. You have to win 12 cities to win this seat. On that basis alone, we should all be uniting behind Moorlach if you want to win and not split the votes, right? We've been frustrated. We see multiple candidates. The party tried really hard to narrow the playing field, and it didn't work because you know what? The candidates get to decide if they want to run or not. You can't just go and tell them you're not running. So we have this race, but all our voters have a choice. We can unite. The voters can unite. The leadership of the party is telling you, we know we can win, and Moorlach can win this seat for us, and if we divide our votes, we're not going to win. But let me tell you why, regardless, right? We want to win, and, you know, some people say, well, I like Muldoon. I live in Newport Beach, and I like him, and he's a great guy. I agree. But he can't win, and he's not going to do as good of a job as Senator Moorlach. He just spent 6 years in Sacramento dealing with the financial crisis that has hit our county now. COVID is a financial disaster. He is a CPA. He has experience in our county when our county was suffering. When our county went through a bankruptcy, he was there. He knows the job of county supervisor, and he can walk in tomorrow and take over for Michelle Steele and finish her term and vote and be a conservative leader for our county. If we don't unite and tell everybody you know, your family, your friends, your neighbors, that they need to get out there and vote for Moorlach. And that is what the Republican Party is doing. We are working very hard, going from city to city. Fred Whitaker was at an event earlier today in Costa Mesa, and the party is trying to unite people. And so I'm here to tell you, as a member of the Central Committee and our party, that you guys are doing the right thing, coming out here, joining your clubs. And I'm going to talk a little bit about California. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the GOP is going to be doing in the next couple years, at least from the portion that I can help and work towards for us. So first of all, we're going to vote for Moorlach, right? Anybody here against me? Any objections? Okay, we got it. Now you need to go tell all your family, friends, and neighbors, make sure that they do that. But this is going to be an exciting year for Costa Mesa Republican Assembly, and I'm so happy to be here in 2021, one of your first meetings, to talk about that and talk about why it's going to be a good year to be a Republican. And the number one reason why it's a good year to be a Republican in California is Governor Newsom is going away. Right? We have a recall. It's happening. There are 1.4 million validated signatures already. We need 1.5. There's over 1.8 signatures that have been submitted. And we are on track. We have our local Rescue California operations in Newport Beach, and Dunsmore is running that program. I've gone and volunteered. If you guys want to do a really fun volunteer effort, let me know after this. I'll send you over there. You count the ballots, you organize them, or the petitions, I'm sorry. And we are going to get this on the ballot. And we are going to have, later this year, August, September, you guys are going to see a special election to recall Governor Newsom and elect a new governor for the state of California. That is exciting for Republicans. This is the state that we were in decades ago when Ronald Reagan ended up launching a career in California up to the governor and to the president of the United States. Richard Nixon was launched out of this county. And you know what? Decades ago, we were where we are now. There was a Democrat advantage. We don't think that way because we, through our, great presidents that came out of this county, we became known as a conservative county, but it wasn't always that way. And what happened was, finally, we had, the needle had to move. We were too far to the left, which is where we are now, and people in the middle of the road were fed up. You've got Democrats that are signing the recall petition. You've got moms that are independents that have never even decided what party they are. They don't care about politics, and they care now because their kids can't go to school. You've got the working class like my own brother that had to move to Texas because they can't afford to live here and do their business in California anymore. You've got a government run amok. The EDD can't even process the claims that they're promising. They're giving money to the illegal immigrants, and the jail is being flushed with money instead. What is happening in our state, right? So we have a problem, but that's an opportunity for us as Republicans because we need to unite. We know that. Every single city, or at least in our local area, I'll say, has had multiple candidates running. We're frustrated because we're splitting the votes and we end up losing. It doesn't have to be that way. It's clubs like this. We have to unite. We have to come together, and we will, because all of us agree, no matter if you love Trump, you hated Trump, and you're still a conservative, what's happening in California is unacceptable. We need a smaller government. We need to cut taxes. We need to get the government out of the way. Let the kids go back to school. Let us live our lives and have our freedoms, have our liberty. And you guys are the spark of that right here. I'm so glad to be here and see all these, new faces to me. And I'm going to be working together with you. And so the last thing I wanted to say, is, what is the GOP going to do? I didn't even know about the Central Committee, to be honest, before I got involved and my brother moved to Texas. And I said, I am fed up. I'm a deputy district attorney. I have 3 degrees. I thought I can do a better job than these people. I don't need to sit at home in my nice house. I'm already a government worker. I'm the type of person, I'm willing to go out and speak, and it hurts. Personally, I was born and raised here. My family were all military veterans, and they all were raised here in California. And my dad is even looking at leaving because he needs to get a 1-story house because my stepmom had a stroke, and they can't afford to buy a 1-story house. And they're looking at leaving the state. And that is unacceptable. If you've built your life in California, if you have kids here, you grow up here, you should be able to stay and live in California. And so that's what we're fighting for as a state. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay here and fight. And it looks like you guys are too. So you might be looking, don't do it, stay. Because I guarantee you that these policies that we are against are going to go to Texas. Those policies that we are fighting against, we have to fight here in California. What happens in California does impact the whole country. Because the country, especially now with Kamala Harris in D.C., is adopting our law and making it national. So what we need to do is we need to start uniting, and this is the perfect year because we are going to be united. In California, we're going to have a vote where we can work together, and we can go out and meet our neighbors, and we can say, come over here and listen to what we have to say. We have good candidates that can do a better job. And that's what we're going to be working on. So for the GOP, I ran for the state assembly. As you know, I didn't win that seat, but I did win and got elected to the Central Committee. And when Fred Whitaker was looking at putting together an executive committee, I said, I want to be on that. I want to help lead this party. There's frustration with the party. People are like, where's the party? What does the party do? Nobody knows. Well, I know now, and I'm asking everybody to give us a chance. Fred Whitaker and our committee elected new people like me onto the executive committee and have given me, I'm now going to be chairing our precinct operations committee. And we're developing a 2021-2022 plan that is going to blow your socks off because we are going to unite people. We're going to build an army. We're going to be out there. We're going to go engage every single Republican voter in our county, and we're going to grow that party. We're going to reach the young generation, and we are going to do that together. We have to work together, and it's clubs like this that I want to support and bring members to you and bring speakers and candidates. And I will ask Jennye to let me come and speak again when I have official materials for the program that I'm working on. But I can tell you that we have a new executive member working on our marketing and communications so we can build a new message to reach those middle of the road, people, those voters. We can't win without the independent voters. They are going to help us, and they are with us most of the time, especially when it comes to the issues. And so we're going to build a new marketing strategy and campaign, and we're going to market ourselves. We are also working on voter registration efforts. That's also another committee that I'm going to be chairing. We're going to roll out a new program. We're going to have actual things and plans for you to help us achieve to get those numbers up. And we are going to work very hard to get the candidates that can win. So Jeff Barkey is on the executive committee. He's chairing and building a whole new endorsement procedure and program for the GOP. So if you don't know what the GOP is doing, well, get ready. You're going to start knowing about it, because I'm going to come here and tell you all the time what we're doing until you're sick of me. No, just kidding. Hopefully you won't get sick of me. But what we're going to do is win again. And the Republicans can do it. I told you, think back decades ago, they were able to flip our state and have a Republican governor. It's happened before. It will happen again. And I think this is the year, this is the opportunity, and it starts right here. So first of all, we're going to vote for Senator Moorlach for Supervisor, because that's step one for 2021. And then you're going to hear from me again to build out our precinct teams and get ready to engage all of Costa Mesa and Orange County and win in 2022. We're going to win. Republicans are back. Thanks for having me.
Thank you all for being here. It's weird that it's February, but thank God we're in California right now. Are you kidding? It's sunny, it's beautiful, nice little ocean breeze. I'm proud to be here in Costa Mesa and in California. And as Jennye said, I ran for the Costa Mesa Sanitary District this last election with all of your help and the support around Costa Mesa and parts of Newport. I was successful. And the biggest reason is just neighbors. It's just talking to people. I went and I hit every registered voter door in the division that I ran. And I was successful because it's about shaking hands, and even during COVID, not literally always, but it's about face-to-face, people-to-people. It's still about people. And so I'm just here to just tell you, I'm going to assume everyone here is, of course, for Senator John Moorlach for the Supervisor, right? And these events are great, but it only does so good unless you're out in your block, in your neighborhood, and you're talking to, I've got left-leaning friends, indie friends, red friends, all that. We all know people. Talk to them. Talk to them about John. Talk to them about the other people running and say why John's the better candidate, why John has the experience. We all know about his fiscal history. And as Kelly mentioned, we could have a problem with the result of COVID. And if we don't have the right person in that seat, this county's going to have problems. And I heard the other night from friends of mine, it's a domino effect. If we don't get John in that seat, we could have real problems down the road. And we need the right people in that position. And John is someone, he is not only the right person, he is the right person at the right time for exactly what we need. So I'm going to ask all of you to go out, tell a friend, call a friend, see a neighbor, walking your dog. Hey, John Moorlach. And if they haven't voted already, get them to vote. This is going to be about turnout on the Republican side. We got to get every single Republican to turn out and vote for John. And we need every independent to vote for John. And guess what? I've got, as Kelly said, there's a lot of Democrats who are fed up with the nonsense of California. Have your good Democrat friends vote for John. Because as a resident of Costa Mesa, I'll be honest, the alternative, it could be trouble. So if for no other reason, see what's been going on here and let's make the right choice. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, let's get John in that seat. He's the right person, the right time for all of us. And I thank you again. Thank you to the Mills for hosting today. And let's get John Moorlach elected here in a few days. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Brett. I know it's always hard speaking after Kelly. All right, we have another speaker here today. Since Moorlach is unable to join us, we're going to go ahead and have his campaign manager, Scott. say some words for him.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, thank you, everybody. My name is Scott Carpenter. Unfortunately, John cannot be here, so if you tell I'm not John Moorlach, he's about a foot taller than me. But John, I can tell you there's nobody that is more disappointed that he can't be here right now than John. He really wanted to be with you guys. He is so appreciative for all the support you've given over the years. And we are running a hard campaign. I don't know if any of you noticed, but apparently in the last year or so, he just became a really bad guy, according to all these mailers you might be seeing. But there's a reason that he is the only candidate that is getting hit left and right by the unions, by the Democrats, by everybody. You notice there's no negative mail about anybody except for John. And it's because they're terrified of him because he has the misfortune of knowing how to do math. And the unions really don't like that. When they want to pillage the public coffers, John says, yeah, I wish everybody could make $1 billion a year and have a great pension, but unfortunately you have to pay for it. As Margaret Thatcher said, the problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money. So John understands that, and that's why he's running. Quite honestly, he was not planning to run for this seat at all. He was perfectly content in running for re-election for the Senate. Of course, he fell a couple points shy there, barely lost that, but he was recruited really by a lot of the leadership around the county. No joke, they're people that work in county executive management that said, hey, we need you back here. And there's a lot of other people that do business with the county and people that know that the county is in a very tough place because of COVID. So he feels it's a calling. He's excited to serve you guys and support you and just put the county back on a proper footing. So our campaign is running strong. I'm sure a lot of you probably heard that he did test positive for COVID on Monday. He's feeling fine. He's has very minor symptoms. His fever's gone and all that stuff. So he's doing good. We're just waiting to get fully recovered so he can be back out here with you. Honestly, he will be here as soon as he's able to. He would love to come see you guys again. Please, like Brett and Kelly said, appreciate your kind words, and please tell your friends and neighbors. Literally go through your email address, inbox, or your contact list, and just see people that live in the 2nd District, and just shoot people emails. Talk to everybody you know. It really, really makes a difference. If 100 people call 20 people, that's 2,000 votes right there, and that could be the margin of victory. We are doing great. We have made over 220,000 phone calls from our office. We have about 45 people out walking precincts as I speak right now. We're hitting doors and getting great responses. We are getting a huge positive response from independent voters, as Brett said. You need those guys to vote for you so you can win. And we have 85 to 90% of Republicans that we talk to are voting for John. So we appreciate you guys. I'm happy to take any questions. I don't know if there are any, but thank you for everything you do. God bless you and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you, Scott. All right, so who are we voting for?
John Moorlach.
What?
John Moorlach.
All right. So, in case you guys didn't know, John Moorlach used to be the president of Costa Mesa Republican Assembly. This was back in the day before my time, but during his presence with CMRA, it was actually a pretty large organization, and unfortunately, it's dwindled down over the years. Even myself kind of say we've been asleep at the wheel, but everything that's happened in the last few years with elections, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty frustrated, and it has really lit the fire under me. So I'm happy to be part of this organization. I wish everybody can join CMRA, help out your fellow Republicans here in Costa Mesa. And one thing about our organization that some people don't know is that we are the only Costa Mesa Republican organization that is recognized by the Republican Party. So we actually get voting rights. We get delegates. You see all those Republican conventions where everybody's there voting? Yeah, we get to participate in that. So the more members that we get, the more delegates we get. So you guys upset about who our candidates are, who's leading the Republican Party? Get involved. Get your friends to get involved. The bigger presence we have, the more power we have, right? We can vote. We can change all that. And I just know for myself with John Moorlach, because I know him personally and he's been in Costa Mesa for a long time, like myself and my family, is he really is a genuine, honest guy. I feel like I insult him when I call him a politician because he's not a politician. He is your average family man. He's a CPA. He's one smart cookie. And like Scott said, he knows how to do math. So that's obviously a bad thing for Foley. And anybody that has lived here for a few years with Foley being involved in politics and part of our council, you guys all know what she's done. The corruption, all of the, my family's been involved in the school district. She's been involved in the school district. She's been nothing but a nightmare. Everybody that I know that knows her can't work with her. Anybody here know Foley personally? Ever had to work with her? Yep. See? Exactly. So who do we want running our county?
John Moorlach.
Exactly. We want someone that knows how to do math. We want a genuine, an honest, and a family man. You're not going to get that with Foley. You're going to get that with Moorlach. So thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you, Barry, for doing this video. So before you leave, make sure you become a member of CMRA. Let's take back the power. Let's take back our party. And let's do this. We now have Kelly. She's going to be helping. So let's do this. All right. Thank you.